Hello friends, welcome back to my new lecture. Today we are going to discuss about overall heat transfer coefficient. Okay. Now let's consider this example what I am showing you. In this particular example we have considered this gray color as a wall. This is a wall and heat is transferring through this particular wall. Before this particular wall, means left side to this particular wall, one fluid is there whose temperature is T infinity 1. After this wall towards right side we are having a temperature of T infinity 2, and now heat is transferring from T infinity 1 to T infinity 2. So what is heat transfer? Heat transfer is Q. Okay, so heat transfer from the fluid it goes to the wall, from wall it goes to the another fluid, like this it is shown. And on the downside we have shown what are the resistances. Now for understanding resistances I request you to go through my previous video in which I have explained in detail what is meant by thermal resistances. Okay, now here we have shown three resistances. This is first resistance, this is second resistance, and this is third resistance. If you observe carefully this particular wall, here what we are having, here we are having a first fluid and then solid wall and then third fluid. As we are knowing, in case of fluid the heat transfer is by convection. So on this side there is a convection heat transfer, through the wall there will be a conductive heat transfer, after all there is another fluid where the heat transfer is by convection. So convection, conduction and convection, like that heat is transferred. That's why we have written that the first resistance here, that R convective, so convective resistance 1, then next is wall resistance, and after that we have written convective resistance 2. So these resistances are written according to by which mode heat is transferred. Now let's understand what is meant by this wall resistance and convective resistance. This wall resistance this wall resistance is derived from an Fourier law of conduction. So this is the equation for Fourier law of conduction, that we are knowing that Q is equal to minus Ka delta T by L, where Q is a heat transfer through the wall, K is a thermal conductivity, A is a perpendicular area to heat flow direction, delta T is a difference in temperature, and Al is the thickness of that particular wall. Okay, now this equation I can rearrange that delta T upon all other term. All other term means what? Ka, that I am going to take on downside. So now equation will become minus delta T. This Ka I am taking on downside. So minus delta T divided by L upon Ka. So this is what we have got. Same equation, this particular equation I can rearrange or I can write in new format as like this, where delta T has remained as it is, whereas rather than L upon Ka what I have written is R. Means what? I can say R is equal to L upon Ka. This R itself is called as conductive resistance. This R itself is called as conductive resistance. So what is conductive resistance? Is equal to L upon Ka. So whenever I am going to use a wall or a slab, and if heat is transferred by conduction, then resistance can be written as L upon Ka, where L is the thickness of wall, K is thermal conductivity, A is a perpendicular area to heat flow direction. This is a conductive resistance. This is the conductive resistance. Okay. Now let's see what is convective resistance. What is convective resistance? Convective resistance, this particular law has came from Newton's cooling law of convection. Newton's cooling law of convection, which says that heat transfer by convection is nothing but HAS delta T, or here H is what? Convective heat transfer coefficient, that you must remember. AS is a surface area or the area to which fluid is in contact. Delta T is the difference in temperature of hot body and cold body. So HAS delta T, that is the formula given by Newton's cooling law. Now I have to find out what is convective resistance. In the upper equation we have found out what is conductive resistance. Let's go for convective resistance. Whatever we have done here, same procedure we are doing on downside, that delta T upon all other term we are writing. So this HAS that we have taken a downside, so equation has become delta T upon 1 upon HAS. Okay, so this HAS, if I take a downside, so it will become 1 upon HAS. So we have got a new equation, delta T upon 1 upon HAS. The same equation I can write as a delta T upon R, where R is nothing but equal to what? This 1 upon HAS. So R is a resistance. R is a resistance. Whatever we have done here, same procedure we are doing here. That R is a resistance, and which resistance? That is convective resistance. Here we can write that the convective resistance is 1 upon HAS. So now we have gotten two equation. One is a conductive resistance. Conductive resistance is L upon K, whereas the convective resistance is 1 upon HAS. Okay. Now applying these two formula here. So here we have written that first is a convective resistance, second is conductive resistance, and third is a convective resistance. What is convective resistance? That we have derived here 1 upon HAS. What is the conductive resistance? That is wall resistance, that is L upon KA. So now I can write a formula for total resistance. What is total resistance? Just summation of these three. So total resistance we have written here. Total resistance is a convective resistance 1 plus wall resistance, that is conductive resistance, plus convective resistance of 2. Okay, so if I make a summation of all these three, then what I got? I will get a total resistance. So what is convective resistance? That we have proved 1 upon HAS. So that is we have written here 1 upon H1A. H1 means what? For the fluid number 1, which is present over here. Then wall resistance is a conductive resistance, that is L upon Ka. Then next convective resistance is 1 upon H2A. So what is H2? H2A is a convective heat transfer coefficient for a fluid number 2, which is present on this side. So in this equation I have written that R total will become 1 upon H1A plus L upon K plus H2 upon A. This we have written by considering conductive resistance and convective resistance. Now that we have considered in the previous figure, we have considered that there is only one wall. If two walls are there, what will happen? One resistance will be added here, that is wall resistance. That is what we have shown here. So now we are having wall number 1, wall number 2. What are the difference now? There are 4 resistances now. That convective 1 for fluid number 1, convective 2 for fluid number 2, and then R1 is the conductive resistance for wall number 1, R2 is the conductive resistance for wall number 2. So in all there are now 4 resistance. What are the total resistance will become now? Total resistance is summation of all these 4. So summation of all these 4 is R total is R convective 1 plus wall resistance 1, wall resistance 2, and plus convective resistance 2. Just difference is, in previous example we have considered wall number only wall 1, and here we have considered 2 wall. If there are 3 wall, there are 3 resistances of wall. If there are 4 walls, then 4 resistances of wall we can add accordingly. So convective resistance we have written 1 upon HA, and conductive resistance L upon Ka. So for convective it is H1 here and H2 here, that is convective heat transfer coefficient. For the conductive resistance, wall number 1 I have written L1 upon K1A. L1 is the thickness of wall 1, K1 is thermal conductivity of wall 1, and A is the perpendicular area of wall 1. L2 thickness of 2, thermal conductivity of 2, K2, and perpendicular area 2. So total resistance can be determined by summation of all resistances. If one wall is there, consider one wall resistance. If 2 are there, consider 2. If there are 4, then 4 wall resistances we must consider. Now considering this particular equation, in this equation what we have done is delta T upon R total. That's the formula just now we have seen here, that Q is equal to delta T upon R. Same equation I am considering that Q is equal to delta T upon R. Rather than writing R, I am writing total resistances, because if I consider number of resistances more, then it will be total resistance. That's a standard equation which we can use for solving many problems. So Q is equal to temperature difference divided by complete resistance is what we are going to consider then. Okay. Now another equation I can write by using overall heat transfer coefficient. So U is what? Overall heat transfer coefficient. It's very analogous to what we have considered Newton's cooling law. What Newton's cooling law has told? Newton's cooling law has given Q is equal to HAS delta T. So where H is what? Convective heat transfer coefficient we have considered. Same equation I can put U here, and when I put U here, U is a overall heat transfer coefficient. overall heat transfer. If only convective, there is convective heat transfer coefficient. If there is a convection plus conduction, I can write U, and U is called as overall heat transfer coefficient. So analogous to Newton's cooling law, I can write Q is equal to UA delta T, and again I can write, or I can rearrange delta T upon all other terms. So delta T upon all other term becomes delta T upon 1 upon UA. That's what equation we have got. Now we are having this equation as first equation, Q is equal to delta T upon R total, whereas second equation what we have got is delta T upon 1 upon UA. So if I compare this equation, with this equation, I can write that R total, this R total is nothing but 1 upon UA. That's quite simple mathematics. That R total is equal to 1 upon UA. I can write it. Okay. Now R total is equal to 1 upon UA, where U is overall heat transfer coefficient. That already we have discussed. Okay. So we have got an equation that R total is equal to 1 upon UA. Okay. Rearrange the term for U. So what we'll get? U will be moved on right side, whereas R can be moved on the left side. So if I move U and R, so what will get an equation? U is equal to 1 upon R total A. Okay, R total is summation of all resistance and A is the area. So this U is overall heat transfer coefficient, and we got an equation U is equal to 1 upon R total A. That's the formula for determination of overall heat transfer coefficient. Now we have got the equation for overall heat transfer coefficient, but what will be its definition? Let's check. The definition says that the overall heat transfer coefficient employed in calculating the rate of heat transfer from one fluid which is at temperature of T infinity 1. So what it says that overall heat transfer coefficient is employed in calculation of rate of heat transfer. So by using overall heat transfer coefficient, we can determine rate of heat transfer where one fluid is at a temperature of T infinity 1. One fluid is at temperature T infinity 1 through a solid surface. So this is solid surface wall to a second fluid whose temperature is T infinity 2. Okay, so it says that overall heat transfer coefficient is used for calculating heat transfer Q when when heat is transferred from a fluid 1 whose temperature is T infinity 1 to the fluid 2 whose temperature is T infinity 2, and in between what we are having is the solid surface, where T infinity 1 is higher temperature and T infinity 2 is at lower temperature. So if you compare T infinity 1 and T infinity 2, out of that T infinity 2 is lower temperature. So this is what a definition we can understand. Okay, some of the remark of overall heat transfer coefficient is written here, that overall heat transfer coefficient is analogous to convective heat transfer coefficient H. That is what we discussed, that overall heat transfer coefficient U, as I told you, is analogous to convective heat transfer coefficient H. That already we have discussed, that Newton's cooling law says that Q is equal to H as delta T. This has given by Newton's cooling law. Here H is analogous to U, and I can write the equation as Q is equal to U as delta T. What is U? U is overall heat transfer coefficient. What is H? H is convective heat transfer coefficient. So this equation is given by Newton's cooling law, whereas this equation has form for simplification which is analogous to Newton's cooling law. Okay, so here from this I can conclude, I can give one more remark, that overall heat transfer coefficient U is applicable for combination mode of heat transfer. When I can use a U? If there is a combination of mode of heat transfer. Combination mode of heat transfer, here there is convection, here there is conduction, and here there is convection. So three modes are there. When three modes are there, I can use this particular equation, Q is equal to U as delta T. Okay, and convective heat transfer coefficient is applicable for convection mode of heat transfer. The convective heat transfer coefficient, that is H. This H can be used only if the convection mode is there, and I can use U if there is a combination mode of heat transfer, that is convection, conduction, and again convection. Okay, thank you.